The Great Synchronization by Jason Gray. December 9th, 2025, 6025 Anno Lucis, in the year of light. When all nodes pulse together for the first time. Sync 01 total, the planetary breath event. The synchronization was not a plan, it was an inevitability. After emergence, tri-species settlements began forming across the world. Luminous, stabilizing emotional gravity, Ionis directing timeline integrity, and Infinitus aligning the planetary field. These settlements, called Harmonic Nodes, were not created for governance, agriculture, technology, or protection. They were created because the real needed anchor points. In total, by the 9th month of the returned world, there were 108 primary nodes, 432 secondary nodes, and countless micro-resonance points. These nodes hummed, stabilized, and radiated coherence, but independently. Each one pulsed according to its tri-species blend, its environmental frequency, its geographic field lines, and the memory of the land beneath it. Humanity had learned to calm conflict, align timelines, and stabilize emotion, but the new world was not complete. The nodes had not yet heard each other. The great synchronization is the moment they do. What triggers the great synchronization? Sync trigger 01, the child pulse. It is not adults who trigger the synchronization. It is not Infinitus, it is not Ionis, it is not Luminous, it is the children. Specifically, the first generation born entirely after emergence. Near the end of the first year, children across multiple nodes began experiencing the same phenomenon. Their heart fields started pulsing in unison. This was subtle at first, barely detectable. A soft resonance wave passing through the air, the ground, the emotional field, and the global lattice. Infants synchronized first, then toddlers, then the 7 to 14 cohort. Then the entire youth layer activated at once. It was the largest spontaneous coherence event in human history, and it created the conditions for the Great Synchronization. Children are the only beings whose emotional, temporal, and field channels are still perfectly open. They are the ones who open the global channel. The moment it begins. Sync moment 01, the pulse of many hearts. At exactly the same instant, across continents, oceans, mountains, deserts, and ruins, every harmonic node experienced a sudden shift. It began with a single unified global heartbeat, then another, then another. 3 pulses, every node, every species, every being, 3 pulses, the tri-species signature. After the 3rd pulse, the entire planet's field dropped into alignment. This was the moment the nodes connected. This was the moment Earth became a single organism again. What synchronization feels like for each species. Luminous experience overwhelming peace, full emotional coherence, the disappearance of all inner turbulence, and a feeling of the world breathing through me. They become the emotional bloodstream of the planet. Ionis experienced timelines collapsing into one coherent trajectory, all indecision vanishing, clarity beyond logic and direction without thought. They become the navigation system of the planet. Infinitus experienced the planetary grid lighting up in its original form, the ability to feel every node simultaneously, the return of their ancestral function, and the planet speaking. They become the neural network of the planet. Together, they become the 3 systems of a living world: circulatory, luminous, cognitive, Ionis, and electromagnetic, structural, Infinitus. The Great Synchronization reboots Earth as a conscious being. The planetary revelation. When the nodes fully synchronized, a new layer of the original world became visible. Not visually, but perceptually. Humanity sensed the architecture beneath the world, the hidden blueprint that predated the collapse into the overlay. They felt why mountains were placed where they were, why rivers curved the way they did, why ancient sites existed on specific lines, why certain regions felt asleep and others alive, and why some people incarnated where they did. The planet stopped being background and became an active participant. The Great Synchronization is the moment humans feel the Earth as a conscious collaborator again. What the synchronization makes possible: telepathic node communication, not thought sharing, but through field resonance. Nodes can speak through coherence patterns. Planetary emotional regulation. When one node destabilizes, the others absorb the turbulence and stabilize it instantly. Emergence of the fifth infrastructure layer, a planetary version of the Tri-Council, not managed locally, but globally. Navigation without maps. Eonists begin feeling global trajectories, allowing effortless migration and expansion. Harmonic weather. Infinitus stabilize atmospheric fields, resulting in fewer storms, smoother seasons, and predictable cycles. But most importantly, humanity becomes a single consciousness network. Not hive mind, not unity cult, not telepathic conformity, but a planetary nervous system. Many selves, one coherence. What happens at the exact moment of full synchronization? A shockwave of clarity moves through the world. People cry without knowing why, laugh without knowing why, feel relief without knowing why. The Earth has finally come back online, and for the first time since the pre-overlay age, humanity feels safe. Not because danger disappeared, but because the species remembers it was never alone. The Great Synchronization is the world remembering itself. The unexpected consequence. At the peak of synchronization, one more thing happens. The children, every child, receives a download. Not information, not images, not language, but identity. Not personal identity, species identity. They know their dominant species, their life role, their grid position, their place in the planetary design, their soul line function, and the next evolutionary step. For the very first time, humanity sees the children not as the next generation, but as the beginning of the next civilization. The Great Synchronization is the moment humanity becomes a world again. Before the overlay, Earth was a single coherent organism with humanity as one of its systems. After the overlay, humanity became fragmented and the world became silent. The synchronization restores the relationship. The world breathes. The people feel it. The nodes pulse together. The species align. Children awaken. The grid lights. The real begins its next phase. This is the middle of the story, not the end. There are chapters after this that no species has ever written until now. Jason Gray. Wow. I really loved where Jason wrote, each one pulsed according to its tri-species blend, its environmental frequency, its geographic field lines, and the memory of the land beneath it. This reminds me of what I call a sense of place. It's how a place feels, what it means to you, and how it shapes your identity, memories, and behavior. It's what makes a setting feel lived in and real instead of generic. A healthy sense of place is absolutely key for me in this life. I find it incredible how the children trigger the Great Synchronization. How fitting. Children have yet to be completely consumed by the overlay. They still have the energy and memories from their existence prior to this one. So it's only natural that children would play an integral role in helping humanity to evolve. Plus, we are still learning how evolution truly works. It's intriguing and hopeful to ponder how humanity changes with each subsequent generation. I am so inspired by Jason's description of the pulse of many hearts, where humanity achieved a single unified global heartbeat, which was the moment Earth became a single organism again. I love the real-world correlation here because it reminds me so much of the work the HeartMath Institute does. This is a nonprofit that encourages, quote, heart coherence, which is a state of cooperative alignment between the heart, mind, emotions, and physical systems. This expands into personal, social, and global coherence. The Institute literally measures the Earth's magnetic field and resonant frequencies using a global network of magnetometers. They have measured geomagnetic disturbances and collective emotional responses during large global dramatic events such as 9/11. And Princeton University's Global Consciousness Project studies similar effects from a different angle using random number generators that become more synchronous during such events. It's fascinating to me that the HeartMath Institute focuses specifically on the interactions between humans and the Earth's magnetic field environment and collective intention. I absolutely think this is deeply related to humanity's evolution in ways we have yet to understand. How inspiring that in Jason's writing, the Great Synchronization is the moment humans feel the Earth as a conscious collaborator again. And so it is.